How to invest in real estate with no money down. Did you know that broke people buy houses every day? Not with savings, not with trust funds, and definitely not by winning the lottery. They do it without using a dime of their own money. Does that sound impossible? That's exactly what the banks want you to believe. Because the moment you realize money isn't the barrier, you start looking at real estate like the wealthy do, as a game of strategy, not savings. In this video, we're unveiling how people with zero in the bank are getting properties under their control, building wealth, and skipping the whole save for 20 years advice. We'll break down 5 real world strategies that actually work, whether you're deep in debt, paycheck to paycheck, or just tired of waiting. And it all starts with a concept the rich have consistently testified to: using other people's money, OPM. Let's show you how it's done. Here's the truth: you don't need to have money, but you do need to know where money lives. That's where OPM, other people's money, comes in. It's not some shady shortcut. It's what real estate pros have used for decades, and it's simple to do. You find a great deal, they fund it, you both win. Let's break it down further. Say you meet a small business owner who wants to grow their money but doesn't have time to flip a house or manage a rental. Then you say to them, I found an undervalued property. I found an undervalued property. If you fund the deal, I'll do the work and we'll split the profit. And that's it. No money down, but you've just become a real estate investor. There are private lenders, hard money lenders, and even family or friends willing to invest, as long as there's trust and a clear legal agreement. And the interesting part is, they don't have to be extremely rich. They just need to have some money sitting in savings or retirement accounts that could earn far more in real estate than in a bank. Also, you need to ensure to treat their money like it's more valuable than your own. Protect their investment. Be honest, professional, and transparent from the very start. But what if you don't know anyone willing to invest yet? There's another strategy which allows you to make real money from real estate without ever buying a house yourself. Try wholesaling real estate. Wholesaling is one of the fastest ways to get started in real estate with zero cash, zero credit, and zero property ownership. Here's how it works. You find an undervalued property. Maybe the owner needs to sell fast or the home needs repairs. You get that property under contract at a great price. Then, instead of buying it yourself, you assign that contract to a real estate investor who's ready to buy. You make a profit from the difference, which is called a wholesale fee, usually $5,000 to $15,000, and sometimes even more. For example, you find a home worth $150,000, but the owner agrees to sell for $120,000. Then you find an investor willing to buy it for $130,000. You assign the contract and pocket the $10,000 difference. You never bought the house. You just connected a motivated seller with a hungry buyer. It's that simple. So you're basically a real estate matchmaker. And here's the best part. Wholesaling is all about hustle and strategy, not savings. If you can market, network, and negotiate, you can build serious income without ever needing a down payment. Meanwhile, you may sometimes have the drive but not the know-how yet, or maybe you're nervous to do it alone on your first deal. Then, the next strategy is an absolute game changer for beginners. Partner your way in. You don't have money, but you know someone who does? Then you may already have what you need to start investing. Partnerships are one of the most overlooked but most powerful ways to break into real estate with no money down. This is how it's done. You bring value in the form of time, effort, knowledge, or hustle, while your partner brings the capital. When you find the deals, handle negotiations, manage renovations, or deal with tenants, in return, your partner provides you the down payment, closing costs, or renovation funds, and you split the profits. Let's say you find a great rental property, but you don't have $20,000 for the down payment. You pitch it to someone who has the funds, but no time or real estate knowledge. You offer a 50-50 profit split. They provide the money and you do the legwork. You both win. Many seasoned investors started this way. They had skills and ambition before they had savings. If you're good at spotting deals, networking, or managing projects, you can turn that into equity, even with zero cash. But it's not the only way. Some people enjoy starting something profitable on their own without teaming up with anyone. It's possible that you also want to start the journey alone and still don't have cash. Then it's time to get even more creative. You probably don't know this, but in real estate, the smartest investors don't ask, can I afford this? They ask, how can I structure this? That's what creative financing is all about. Finding a way to say yes when everyone else stops at no. Let's start with seller financing. Instead of getting a loan from the bank, you make a deal directly with the person selling the house. They let you pay for the home in monthly payments, sometimes with little or no money up front. It works well for sellers who want a steady income or need to sell quickly. No credit checks, no banks, just a simple agreement that works for both sides. Then there are lease options, also called rent to own. You rent a property now with the option to buy it later. Meanwhile, you can sublet, improve it, or just hold on to it until you're ready. You're in control without needing a huge deposit. Another smart option is subject to financing. That means you agree to take over the seller's monthly mortgage payments, but the loan stays in their name. It might sound strange, but it's totally legal. It helps sellers who are behind on payments avoid foreclosure, and you get the house without applying for a new loan or using your own credit. Everyone wins. These deals aren't loopholes, they're lifelines. They work because they solve real problems for real people. You can start by picking one creative financing method that interests you. Watch YouTube videos, read a guide, or join a real estate meetup. Then start looking for motivated sellers, people who are relocating, dealing with divorce, behind on payments, or simply tired of being landlords. Now, maybe all those creative strategies still feel a little out of reach right now. Maybe you're thinking, I don't know how to find motivated sellers, or I'm not ready to take over someone else's mortgage. That's okay too. So, let's talk about the simplest real estate move you can make without buying, borrowing, or flipping anything. Sometimes the easiest way to get started is to use what you already have. Have you got a spare room, a guest house, or even a finished basement? That's real estate. And yes, you can turn it into income without buying anything new. This is house hacking. It's one of the most beginner-friendly, low-risk ways to start building wealth through real estate. Instead of paying your full rent or mortgage alone, you split it with a tenant, a roommate, or short-term guest. Suddenly, your living space becomes a business tool, and your monthly costs go down or even disappear entirely. Let's assume your rent or mortgage is $1,000 a month. Renting out a spare room for $500 slashes your costs in half. If you do it right, that's $6,000 a year back in your pocket, or better still, into savings or your next real estate play. And with platforms like Airbnb, Furnished Finder, or even Facebook Marketplace, finding guests or roommates have never been easier. Some people even move into a smaller room in their home and rent out the master bedroom for a premium. You don't need a real estate license. You don't need a loan. You just need the courage to turn your space into strategy. You can start by prepping your space. Declutter, clean, and take great photos. Then test the waters with a short-term guest or a trusted roommate and see just how powerful your first real estate move can be. So after all, you don't need a fat savings account to break into real estate. You only need strategy, resourcefulness, and the willingness to do what most people won't. Then ask the right questions. Build the right relationships and explore the deals others overlook. Whether it's using other people's money, wholesaling your first contract, teaming up with a partner, structuring a creative financing deal, or turning your space into cash, there is always a way in. So don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect bank balance. Start with what you have and where you are. Because the best real estate investors didn't begin rich, they became rich by thinking differently. Did you learn something new? Well, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone hungry to invest but doesn't know where to start. Also, drop a comment below and tell us which of these strategies you would like to try first. See you in the next video.